What if you have a client that doesn't want to eat? What do you do? How do you deal with that?
With this particular client, we would like give her a piece of toast with peanut butter, a glass of orange juice, a cracker. As long as we know she puts something in her mouth to eat, that's what we go by. I mean,
You don't just let her go hungry?
No, never.
Okay.
Never.
I disagree.
I'm going to open this up to my colleagues.
How long did you administer care to the defendant's grandmother?
About 7 months.
And during that 7-month period, how many times did you go to their home?
A lot.
Well,
I can't even count it.
A lot
I can't
is
even
what?
count it.
Give me an estimate.
At least 20.
At least 20.
Yeah.
Is
Sometimes in the morning,
No.
sometimes at night. It just depended on when something was needed.
Multiple times.
That's not
Multiple
correct.
times. Multiple times. I even had several tickets for parking my car in the morning on days that I didn't know the street sweeper.
Do you
was
have one
coming.
of them?
No, not with me, but I went to the home several times.
I don't agree. I've seen, Your Honor, this is probably the 3rd time I've seen Ms. Gloucester.
Your Honor,
Maybe
she
the
was
second
never
time.
around.
1 second, please.
That's why I'd hired a caregiver, ma'am. I have a full-time job. I work every day, and I did the best I could with my brother's
So, Your
assistance.
Honor, for her to see
so
me-
that's
Stop,
why,
please.
That's why I hired you.
What specifically did they not do?
They did not. Okay, so she broke her hip. So physical therapy is a major issue because she's bedridden. So she needs to be turned. In 4 hours or 2 hours at a time, she can be repositioned. She can be rubbed down with icy hot. She can get out the chair. She can be put in a wheelchair.
You didn't see them do
And
that?
none of that occurred. Never.
I have a question, but you're working. How are you just staring at this live
No,
cam?
my brother is there to look after this
Yeah, but he's
as well.
not here, so I'm trying to say, are you just keeping your phone on while
My
you're working? I
grandmother
don't
is
know
able to speak.
Huh?
My grandmother is well equipped. So I would ask her, how'd your day go? Did this happen? No.
So this is based on your brother's experience, your grandmother telling you things, and what you saw
on the camera.
on this camera. Okay,
Yes.
not just the camera itself.
My brother will report what day she came because he'll be like, Monique came. I'm like, wow, I've never met her.
When was it that the services became inadequate?
Probably the last 3 months.
Okay, why did you continue to have her there and
was
allow
no
them to
one
come for 3 months while they were not doing an adequate job?
I spoke to Ms. Gloucester thinking that things would change. So I'm like, let's go over this again, and maybe we can keep you if you can comply to what's going on.
Sure.
And the next month she didn't.
2 more months, you allowed her to come. Were you planning on not paying her?
No, I wasn't planning, but it's hard to find someone you trust to leave with your elderly grandmother. So it wasn't like it was elder abuse. It was just some things that I wanted to fix. Until I can find someone else, I have no one else.
So were you looking for somebody else?
I was in the meantime.
Okay. When did you start that search?
Probably January or February 2023.
All right.
You put a $1,500 figure on those last few weeks or so that the plaintiff's people worked for you. Is that what you think the value was?
Absolutely
to you?
not. It's priceless, but I expect that she be taken care of as I would take care of myself, and she was not. It's no dollar amount you could put on that.
Good.
Now she's eating, she's great. I do it myself.
Okay, we're good? All right, thank you. We're going to excuse the parties while we deliberate in this case. Thank you both very much.
We have deliberated, reviewed the evidence, and reached a unanimous verdict. There was really not, we think, a complete meeting of the minds here on exactly what was going to be happening with these services, especially with something as important as our family members and the elderly. Ms. Gloucester, we would suggest, although certainly not order, something like a written contract, something where you are very clearly setting forth what responsibilities you have, and maybe some sort of formalized agreement with your clients. Might be really good to make sure there's no miscommunications. But at the end of the day, we believe that the two of you ultimately agreed on some caregiving services. It's very clear, Ms. Lathan, that you at some point were dissatisfied with the quality of the services. However, most of the evidence that we had about that is hearsay, but what you observed yourself is evidence, and it's certainly your right to be dissatisfied with those services. But at that point, your remedy is to terminate the relationship and to stop receiving them. It is not to allow the young women who, I think we all agree weren't doing any harm, to continue to perform the services for 3 months and then just not pay them. So for that reason, we find that there was an agreement and the amounts for the unpaid wages are owed. So the verdict is in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $3,637, and we wish you both and your grandmother the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.